Today's Drops of Inspiration was originally recorded in Portuguese by Ricardo Melo from the Namaste Institute on July 24th, 2017. These audio recordings are prepared by the Drops of Inspiration's volunteers. Our team of volunteers is always in need of help. Be a volunteer in this cause too. Join our Facebook group, Pílulas do Evangelho Transcrição, or Pílulas do Evangelho Tradução, or simply Drops of Inspiration. Join us. Hello, my dear friends. Good morning. A very, very good morning. Starting under the Drops of Inspiration from our beloved Gospel. Thank God. Monday, July 24th. What's up, friends? How are you? How is your state of mind? How is your heart? How is your spirit? Are they all aligned with God? Do you feel aligned with your divine potentiality or not? This is a very important question, a very, very important one. Because there's no use for you to wake up, get dressed, and ready for the week and start complaining, whining, etc. On last night's Drops, I told you a very beautiful story. I find this story very important, of a lady who only complained about the problems she had and that her solution was a simple thank you. Please note that she had a spiritual friend guiding her for this. Later on, search for this Drops to listen to it calmly and think about it. So, my friends, what does it mean to set off your week on the right foot? It means to have an open mind and have your heart truly in tune with our edifying positive endeavors, right? Today, I want to talk to you about the importance of finding the reason for your life. Reason, obviously, between quotes. Viktor Emil Frankl is considered one of the three greatest psychiatrists of all time. Along with Freud and Adler, Dr. Frankl helped humanity understand a little better our psyche and our existential objectives. But unlike the first two, Dr. Frankl went through the terrible experiences from the psychological point of view and to understand precisely a series of important concepts. Dr. Frankl, my friends, was Jewish, and he was imprisoned in concentration camps, particularly in Auschwitz, during World War II. Unfortunately, he had the misfortune to see his parents and his wife murdered during the Nazi regime. And with all odds absolutely against him, this man managed to survive. He had typhoid fever while at the concentration camp, but even so, he survived. And he survived because he needed to tell us this story. He created logotherapy as soon as he left the concentration camps. And before he passed away in 1997, he taught many and many of the world's great lessons that we are all on this earth in search of an existential meaning. Dr. Frankl used to say, a person may be happy for a while doing certain things, but it's human nature to change, to transform. And sometimes we forget that, my dear friends. Imagine for 5 years, just an example, it made sense for you to live in a certain way, but maybe now it doesn't make sense anymore. But people who are attached to this way of life, who do not like to change or transform, always want to live the same experience. As a result, you will be unhappy, and you will keep feeling unhappy until you understand why. You may even dive into depression without understanding why you feel depressed. And then you will say, but life is the same. In fact, my friend, there is an answer. Because your way of life is the same. Because maybe life has changed and you didn't realize it. So logotherapy, with Frankl founded, was an existential therapy. Dr. Frankl said that every human being is capable of overcoming any pain, any great challenge, if they find a meaning, quotation marks, okay, a big reason to do so. He was living proof, he would say. Learn to find the big reason every time you wake up. Understand why you rise each morning. Understand your big goals. Understand it all. Because when you understand this, my friends, when our life changes, whether it's passing of a loved one, or because we get sick, or even when we recover our health, because it's also a change. When we change our financial status, when people move to another city, or even change religions. Anyway, when a big change of several changes happen in our lives, instead of becoming afraid, my friends, we should be and we need to be optimistic. We're going to open our hearts with joy to the change that life will bring us. Why? Because we're going to find a great reason. And what is the big reason, my dear friends? What do the higher spirits teach us? They teach us that our great reason is to return to our consciousness with God. It is to awaken in ourselves our divine potentiality. It's to accept who we are. So each step of our journey, my dear friends, is an invitation to move forward, not an invitation for pain, for sorrow, for anguish. Leave them all behind. All of them are transitory, okay? At one point in your life, you can be rich, and at another moment, poor. At one point, you can have a wonderful body, be highly praised, and at the next moment, be struck by illness. And yet, at the next moment, can have another day, a beautiful and a wonderful body. Do you get it? These material issues are not a parameter to determine who we are in the eyes of God. But everything we do to grow spiritually as a human being, to be existential, loving, to put bad emotions behind you, to be more optimistic, a more cheerful person, creating good vibrations, all of this, my friends, reflects in our great reason. The drops of inspiration invite you to ask yourself, what is the great reason for my existence? And for God's sake, stop with the nonsense. Forgive my strong expression. It's silly. It's nonsense to say, oh, I don't have a reason. Oh, I don't have a reason to live. Or God has abandoned me. Stop talking nonsense, my friends. If you have a life, you are one of the great reasons of God. So pay attention. You think that God, sovereignly just and good, which creates infinite universes, which creates an extraordinary galaxy like ours, with almost 1 trillion stars and 1 trillion galaxies, do you think this wonderful God would create you for no reason at all? So please stop the nonsense, okay? We have to stop with this inferiority complex and begin to accept our divine potentiality, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus said, you are God's. One day you will do all that I do and more. It's right there in John's Gospel. So, my dear friends, today's drops of inspiration wants to reignite the fire within your mind, your heart, with a big reason to love, to raise and to educate your children. Oh, I don't have children. Educate yourself, my friend. Help humanity grow in this transitional era. Help your neighborhood. Help your work. Help your family. Help out with your friends. Be a good human being. For when the time comes for you to return home, you can do it with peace of mind, with the reassurance of a fulfilled task, of someone who passed here and enjoyed every stage of their life very, very well. Each experience, regardless of whether they were pleasurable or not, helps you to grow spiritually. Because without a doubt, when we understand the reasons for our life, we reunite our consciousness with God's consciousness, and everything seems lighter. Isn't that right, my friends? Everything becomes lighter. Jesus said, if we learn with him, the burden is lighter and the yoke is softer. We need to learn from the Lord that is gentle and humble of heart. So, light and peace to you all, my friends, to your life, for everything you do today with optimism and in a good mood. A big hug to you all. Light and peace. May God be with you, and you already know. See you soon, very, very soon. Let your light shine.